Tell me what you think, Yorkie. You think it's terrible? Is it horrible?
Hello, it is That Hildy time, That Hildy channel. We're running a little late today, and it is because of my eyeball. So, I do not have pink eye. I want to make that clear, but I have very pink eye-like symptoms. So you will see that I'm wearing foundation, because otherwise I look like I have black eyes. Like, just... So, I am, here. Right before stream, I told someone I was annoyed, and the response was a fight. So I'm just a little exhausted, like not a lot, just like kind of worn down, but the game will start and we'll be fine. It's like, I would say it's kind of a theme. That Hildy makeup. Indeed. It would be, it's kind of a theme because I'm a very assertive person, but I'm actually really not with my friends because I don't get annoyed that easily. I'm actually like, especially streaming has taught me I'm a super chill motherfucker. Like, I spend most of my time not giving a fuck. I don't have the fucks. So when I do give a fuck, I really shock people. And a lot of times, I've attracted a lot of people who have rejection sensitivity, where it can go anywhere from just, I don't like applying to jobs because what if they say no, to if I tell you you've done something wrong, you're gonna freak out. When you do give one-way get play effects, it's true. So, yeah, like, and it's not a problem when you know you have it. Here's the thing about any neuroatypicality. When you know you have it, you can ask for accommodations. You can talk with me, right? Exactly. Actually, Megan would be the first person that I cared enough about to fight with until she realized we were just having standard healthy conflict. And it was because these things come from places that are not fair to you. I'm glad to be surrounded by a bunch of fluffy kittens because kittens are wonderful and sometimes they hiss. That's it. But if you don't realize you're someone who becomes a hissing kitten, then anytime someone who is a cat says, kitten, I don't want to play right now, you lose your mind. That has what's got me a little exhausted right now. Right. And this is okay too. Like, the main issue that happens with rejection sensitivity is that people sometimes do accidentally make a personal attack, and it can reinforce those feelings. So it makes it really difficult as someone who has RSD to navigate conflict because people fuck up. Right? So I have infinite patience if you know you have RSD. I do not if you don't. Or if you're not willing to look back and read at something or hear about something and say, wow, that sort of feels not right. Even if you don't know why it doesn't feel not right. I'm currently, one of my closer friends probably has borderline and doesn't know it. And I am no longer their favorite person. So when it used to be if I was annoyed, they would be like, tell me how you feel. Now it is, well, that's ridiculous. And I'm so easy to bait because I'm such a loud, mouthy bitch that it's very difficult for me to avoid being baited into that. You know, so I think that did it. I think I'm feeling a little better now. But I was a little petty. I have a couple of friends, not just one, who like to be off the grid, and so will occasionally delete their message history because Discord does save your messages on a server, right? So I just deleted my part of it out of pettiness. Because I'm petty sometimes. I think I'm a really good person to be friends with if you have any difficulties in this realm. Because I have no problem most of the time with my flaws. So I actually enjoy talking with people about theirs and helping them accept them, and I don't mind talking about mine because I don't think any of them are so horrible. I think a lot of them make me interesting. So I try really hard to, and I enjoy this kind of interaction. It's just difficult when someone doesn't do that anymore. But that also, I would like to note, chat, you are welcome to come to me with these situations as well. I don't mind these interactions because in a lot of senses... Ah, man, there's not actually a pause. What? Life is hard and then you actually die because something eats you. I just switched to the game to switch the music, and then it turns out that, you can't. And that I saved right when I was in danger. Somehow. Which is kind of nice. It means I didn't make another death crate. So hold on. You'll get the game in a second. I just have to get to a safe spot. Or I have to close it? We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Ah! Okay, I died here, but it's easier to get my stuff from there. All right, let's let's turn the game on.
Tell me what you think, Yorkie. You think it's terrible? Is it horrible?
Bringing you back isn't easy, you know?
Bringing you back isn't easy, you know? Lord. Fucking hate you, Ada. And then I have to do one other thing, which is change the filter on my gameplay capture. Disco Elysium is very gray. So, unless you put it in a different color space. So I have to change it to, I have to change Disco to CMYK. But almost every other game on a computer uses, RGB. Yeah. Okay. So we made, one coal plant. And I was getting my death crates, and I did pretty well, and then I died. So now we're gonna go do that. We're gonna go get some death crates. Of course, EO has done really, really well these last 2 days. EO, for having... EO is taking, their GCSEs, and test anxiety is real. And these last 2 days, have been after that, but, EO has been super pleasant and kind. Even though... anxiety lasts. Get a good rest, EO. I'm proud of you. EO's self-studying for the GCSEs too. That's intense. I self-studied for the LSAT, and it was a lot. It's a lot. You don't realize how much structure is nice. Yes! Yeah, see? EO's been having a hard time. Just real hard. I'm very proud of you. Good luck. I can't wait to hear that you felt it was too easy. Why, yes, I did take the LSAT. There was a brief moment I was going to be a lawyer. I took the last year. It still had logic problems. Because they're not accessible. And so they were removed because they require a visual component to figure out, really. You have to be able to draw them out. And there were plenty of blind individuals who passed the LSAT, got into law school, passed the bar, went to nice colleges, but it was extremely much more difficult for them. And finally, they got through to the world at large, that they were at a disadvantage. I'm happy I got to take the logic problems, though, because they're really fun. For context, to get into Harvard, they want a 162 at minimum, and I got a 168. I was very proud of myself. But then I decided I didn't want to go to law school. I probably still could. Your LSAT doesn't expire, but I don't want to. I do love me some logic problems, though. Like the Einstein problems, I fucking dig. There's this one app for the phone that can do up to 20 by 20 grids for Einstein. Oh, man. I can get a 20 by 20 done in 30 minutes. Fucking love this shit. But they also do it a little differently. So like the typical Einstein problem has been turned into where you can make a grid on a separate sheet of paper, right? But that's not, they in base come in a table. Where it's like T's, houses, animals, people, and you, the person with a cat lives in the red house, right? And you deduce from there. Well, the way that this app does it is that it uses both images and text and provides you a table like that, but the table is organized in such a way that you can use it like a typical logic grid. So you can put no's and yeses in places and things like that. You don't have to have it either in your brain pan or on a separate sheet of paper. Aha! I don't see you and you're trying to kill me. Where are you? Aha! I am better today, Tev. I've been thinking, so, you know, Tev has been around since... Tev, you've been following me for more than a year. You were around before I was affiliate. My affiliate-versary is on the 16th. Tev is my second follower. So ever since then, you know, we've kind of been fighting with my migraines and stuff. And, I had started to think it was perimenopause and some hormonal changes. And I'm beginning to think it's two different things, because today I woke up with like weird pink eye goo. But that's actually a symptom of occipital neuralgia, which is when your eye is inflamed. And those headaches feel a lot like migraines, except they also happen behind your eye and at the back of your head, which is a lot of what my migraines are like. So it's almost exciting in a way. Doesn't age mess with time, Tev? It's nuts. You know why, right? Do you want to know why, or do you just want to have sometimes people just want to have the experience of aging and not really thinking about it. Yeah, I figured Tev knew. That's just stuff you're into. Oh, Reese, I do have a schedule. It's posted on my Discord, and it'll be updated on my About page later today. Gonna die. Yeah. So get ready. Tuesdays during the day, 428 Shibuya Scramble. When am I next streaming? Oh, rimming. When am I next rimming? I always RimWorld. Thursdays, right when you were there. Noon Pacific time. So right now for context, it's 2:30 my time, 2:30 p.m. So 2.5 hours before now, Thursdays. I'm currently unemployed. If I should get a job, it will move to Saturdays. That's the only difference that I'll ever have with RimWorld. Because, yeah. I mean, if you want, let me give you this. Oop. I have go live notifications on my Discord. So if you don't like having Twitch notifications, you can just turn on the go live section. And it can help you remember, maybe. But yeah, in general, Thursdays. And I do always put the name of my game in my title. I'm still small enough that I can ping you on a Thursday, too. Should I get bigger? That may not be a promise forever, but I can still bug you on a Thursday. Ooh, you like that? Yeah, I'm super tiny, so join the Discord. I can still ping you. I make no promises that it will happen forever, but at least for now I can. Xanthium Zero. I love a game that chooses X as its title, really. But to answer the overall question, no, I don't just stream what I feel like. I do have a pretty solid schedule, and if I change the game, I announce it. The only time the game changes against my schedule is if, like, I'm just having a terrible day. Or the game won't work, which, you know, I have a lot of mods on RimWorld. That might happen, but it hasn't yet. Which, you know, a lot of streamers say, oh, I stream for fun. I actually do. I do stream for fun. I like talking to the people I've met friends with, but I do treat this like a job. It is my job. So I try not to, you know, if I'm canceling stream, it's because I'm a disabled person. Oh, man. Right? I love how easy it is to do anything in this game. Like, Coffee Stain really had the benefit of years of people figuring out these games, but still. But I do view this as a job, especially, like, I've had this GoFundMe because Victor and I are both now unemployed, etc. And without this community, we would have definitely been homeless. So it has extra invigorated my need to treat this like a professional engagement that also I get to just hang out with friends. It's also finally gotten Victor maybe over the last hump of him thinking streaming was a job, because for a long time he wouldn't, and then he wouldn't, because he likes it so much and he hangs out with it. So it's, yeah. We have the same problem, Tev. We have blackberry problems here. Like, we have to rip out blackberry bushes. At least at my old house, we'd have to rip out blackberry bushes. There's actually a very old TikTok of me with a pile of blackberries behind me. It took me 8 hours. And then we had to hire someone to do the rest because it was so, like, dug in. I feel you so much. What? Where? Why? Who? There. Lost him already. Easily turned around. That's a Hildy. Yeah, Himalayan blackberries are our pox, though raspberries are super invasive. Super invasive. Okay, continue. Nope. Ow. It is kind of, like, nice feeling to succeed at tidying up a yard, though. That's true. That is true. I love throwing some raspberries in oat milk with sugar. I was thinking about that the other day. What is my favorite? Chat, what is your favorite pie? I think my favorite pie is... Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, buddy. Hey. I'm sorry. Whoop. Okay, I got one. Lemon meringue, says Megan. Steak and Stilton. It's a perfectly valid pie, Reese. Pumpkin is very good. But, I mean, if you're in Europe, it's pretty hard to get pumpkin. Reese, you've got the right audience here for saying steak and Stilton. I think my very favorite... It's probably key lime. Maybe. We do have some savory pies out here. But yeah, it's not like a traditional... We have calzones, which are a pie, a savory pie, but we just call them calzones. And they tend to be like cheese, pepperoni, tomato, things like... Basically a pizza folded in half. We have Hot Pockets, which are savory pies that we pretend is something unique. Quiche. I do love a good quiche. Apple, cherry, key lime, and like a s'mores or a chocolate silk I really love. I love anything Megan makes, to be fair. Megan is an excellent baker. How do I get there without breaking my crouch? We talking like Hostess pies? No, like, there's a chocolate silk pie where basically it's like, Almost like a lemon meringue, but you make a chocolate pudding instead. Hostess pies are fucking awful. Apple is amazing. Yes, apple is really high up on my favorite food list. Apple pie. Pure iron? Yeah, I love a good chocolate mousse. Delicious. And pies are still pie, that's true. And if you like hostess pies, all the more for you. Though, I would like to pick a beef with someone who's way bigger than me on YouTube. So if he ever hears me, I hope he doesn't hunt me down. But he is a food person. And he talks a lot about how, you know, sugar isn't bad for you and these ingredients aren't terrible. But he's just as extreme as the people who find ingredients all fake, like polydextrose, which is just fiber. So I want to caution you about, like, eat what you need to eat and like. But, like, you know, things like things that have preservatives that they can last forever are not good for you, no matter what a nutritionist on YouTube says. Yeah, it's not in moderation, exactly. But he doesn't really talk about moderation, per se. He talks about, like, he just, like, is debunking these people without talking about moderation because they're short. That's always my big problem with, like, short science clips, is it's like, y'all, you have to really tighten up that script. He's the out of 10 guy. You have to really tighten that up. Otherwise, you're just misleading people. I agree that, like, with a chocolate mousse, I love dark chocolate. I'm vegan, right? So I want to make this clear, even though I might say I like something with meat or something in it, it's because I wasn't always vegan my whole life, and I remember enjoying it. I do not eat anything from an animal. Please continue to talk about your foods. Occasionally, I may be animal rightsy, but this is not a place where I'm going to shame you for what you eat. But just know that I do not do those things. So if it ever seems like I'm saying the opposite, it's from the past, not the present. Exactly. Same with GMO. Man, it's so frustrating for me when people start talking about GMO in a negative way, because if they had not done those GMO yams in fucking Africa, half of Africa would be dead. Exactly. And I think it comes down to whether that's more important to you than, like, your diet or etc., right? For me it is, for other people it isn't. That's usually my stance on that stuff. GMO rice is also keeping so many alive. Golden rice is keeping children from going blind. Yes, here's a banana. Calm down. And I have very strong opinions, but I do not I ended up back here. Oh, I do not by any stretch of the imagination think that strong opinions preclude variations. Is this a waterfall? Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not going to take me down it. I agree. I think that there is a delusional vegan sect out there that simply will not and does not understand that not everyone's going to turn vegan overnight. Oh, just death grade after death grade. And I feel that meat eaters in general are particularly useful in this regard of not letting those animals go to the bin. Exactly. Obviously, as someone who's animal rightsy, I hope more people will be vegan, but it's not a reasonable expectation to place on the majority of the world. The only bad thing with GMOs are when companies use predatory practice and sue. Oh my God. I know. Tev, we've talked about this before, but Monsanto and their copyright seeds is astronomically terrifying. And, I mean, the Green Revolution and sharecropping in general is just another way of slavery. Like, having to buy your seeds from someone. Yeah, exactly. I think one thing that happens when you do take the time to actually read science and study science is that you realize just how many arguments are only based in opinion. It's very surprising to me how many arguments are, because the information's not that hard to get. It becomes almost startling to me how lazy a lot of thinkers are, maybe. This tends to be an argument for, like, Western Europeans and Americans because we have easier lives, so we're not pushed to it. Oh, I will. Oh, I think that's wonderful. One of the people I follow on YouTube is a poultry farmer. If you know where your meat comes from, and you are willing to slaughter your own meat, I am... Yes, the what is it now guy, yeah. We actually have gotten in a fight over veganism before, but it was actually a very reasoned argument, so I like him quite a bit. I was like, you're wrong about veganism. And he was like, no, I'm not. And I was like, yes, I am. Here are these science papers. And he was like, I'll read these science papers. Goodbye. I was like, okay. He's very busy, so I don't expect to ever hear from him again. But he said he'd read them, so whatever. No, I'm very pro knowing where meat comes from and being willing to see it through to the end. I don't disagree with that at all. I am very excited to hear that you will be doing that. I also wish more people would make their own meat. One of the reasons I do really like the What Is It Now guy is because he pays his people living wages. He sells his meat for prices that are accessible to poor people. And he debunks myths about, like, ethical treatment of animals that are held in high regard that aren't actually helpful in any capacity. So, I think he's really, I think in general, small farmers and small meat producers are the answer to the meat problem. I just can't do it. I got, the last time we actually got takeout a long time ago that was chicken instead, and I almost started crying. Because I was like, this was a chicken, and I just bit into it. Offal is like very useful too. Building materials. All things considered. Going back to why I even started this conversation was I was saying how much I liked I'm Gonna Die Again. I'm just being reckless because I'm having good conversation and not thinking about it. This is my own dumb fault. So... chickens are like super killers too. Like, they're dumb as hell, but they're masterminds as well. Like, they're real villains. Like, real villains have no logic, but what they want and how to get... Oh, you fucking son of a bitch. Brain of a dinosaur. Dinosaurs are villains. You heard it here first. It's the agoraphobic mode. So those are supposed to be spiders. But Coffee Stain is a company with an excellent sense of humor. If you look at their updates for Satisfactory, like anytime they have an announcement, it's by far some of the funniest shit you'll ever see. It's a lot like the repo devs. Just, I actually think they might be from the same country on top of that. But, no, they're Swedish. So Coffee Stain has someone who's really agoraphobic in their company. And they asked him what he'd do to get rid of, to like hide the spiders. And he said, why don't we get stock images of cats? You know, Captain, I understand that. Maybe one day you'll eat a little less. My primary feeling is that if you can't kill it yourself, you shouldn't eat it. But I'm not gonna be here judging you as a person. That's not my position in anything. I might say maybe eat a little less. Okay, see you soon, Megan. Can't remember a game, but I played. And arachnophobia made the spiders worse. But then I was 1v1ing a cow. For me, I actually think that the cats make it worse in a way, and I kind of love it because they're terrifying. Like, if you're in a cave and you turn around and that cat is suddenly behind you, it's just a floating CRT-affected cat head that's like, I'm gonna kill you now. And it's like, no, please don't. I really just want to get these death crates. That's what I want. I want to get these death crates and just move the fuck on with my little existence, but I'm apparently just incredibly bad at everything. I'm like, I could see people come in and out, and every time I die, like 3 people leave, and I'm like, yes, goodbye. I understand. Whatever, you're missing out on my sparkling personality. I used to think I could fight a cow until I worked with them. Yeah, no. Cows will fuck you up. Cows will end you. Yeah. Yeah. Like, we've raised them to be dumb enough that they're not gonna, like, hunt you down knowing you're a danger in advance. But if they know you're a danger and you make yourself a danger, the cow will end you. They are heavy, and they have a temper. But they're also kind of like dogs, like they're very puppy style. From what I have experienced myself, a cow will come sleep next to you. It's really cute. Yeah, they're so loud and they're so funny. They are kind of like guard dogs. I think that's probably the best way to describe it to someone who hasn't met a cow. Because they will fuck things up. They will fuck you up if you make yourself a danger, but if you are nice to them and you give them a treat, they will just like cuddle you. They're really funny. I was once proposed to in front of a field of cows. They were very loud. I couldn't hear the proposal at first. I agree. I really like that there is a arachnophobia mode. I saw a test where they let people watch videos with flashing images. They were so fast that people couldn't say what they saw, but every so often there was an image of a spider or snake. Our brain eyes would catch that. Huh. Interesting. Well, they're dangerous. They can kill us, right? And they're very silent, you know? They're the Freddy Krueger serial killer of the animal world. So that makes a lot of sense to me. That Yeah, our old wise lizard brain is like, please don't kill me. Okay, let's get down from here for a second here. Is it our G? I love that autocorrect just happened here. The butterfly. What's the butterfly test? Okay. Death crate. Death crate. Death crate. That's the one that's moving because I'm close to it. Yes, you. Goodbye. You are off the map now. No, I'm going the wrong way. Ah, fuck. Panic. Wait. Talk to me about this. No, stop. Y'all, I really gotta, like, try and play this. I'm just gonna keep dying if I don't fucking... No, but I want you to talk to me. Oh, yes. The generational memory. Yes. Okay. I know what you're talking about now. There's also, there's a pretty cool epigenetics test like that, too. Bees have that, too. I think butterflies are pretty surprising because Lepidoptera isn't eusocial. Eusocial is like having a queen, basically, that kind of thing. Yes, we don't actually have the kind of generational memory we have is both worse and better. So we have epigenetic gene transference. Basically, on our genes, there are indicators for danger and other sort of things, like our tastes in food. And these change based on the stress of our mother and our environment. And they can change at any point in your life, actually. But they tend to change most commonly in our, in the womb. So our genes respond to stress in any sort, positive or negative. And they have found that, like, children from mothers in poverty tend to be obese, regardless of the obesity in their family, because their genes for survival are tipped on from the stress of their mother. Other things like this are in families where deep trauma has happened. The most notable study was in Holocaust families of Holocaust survivors. The trauma is actually still there. They exhibit the same PTSD that their grandparents did in lesser form. What we call survivor's guilt is actually an epigenetic stress response. Yep, their base instinct is to eat more, exactly, because they need to survive. So there's literally genes in our body that say when we're full and what body size we need to be to live. And those genes adjust based on the health of the mother. They're also the same genes that fat cells have memory, and these are the genes that make it difficult to lose weight. Yes, this is actually one of the major points where eugenics tries to argue race differences and make some sort of classification like that. It is often abused, this particular factoid. Don't worry about it. I understand what you're saying. This is one of the bits of information that has been abused over time to try and make people of different races lesser. You are absolutely correct. It is unfortunate, very, that the more magic we find out about our bodies, the more racist people are like, let's try and use that to be evil. Buddy, for the love of God, are you kidding? It's fine. We're just gonna have like 18 death crates over there. It'll be fine. This is the stream, guys. This is what we're doing today. We're gonna go die in the same spot every time.
Ma'am, someone has paid for your hydration.
Oh, thank you.
Shall I
I do
notify
need
Victor?
some water. I appreciate that. And thank you, Trixie, for being a good robot. Yeah, epigenetics, every single time we make any genetic progress, somebody out there is like, you know what? I'm gonna be a dick and ruin it for science. And then it becomes like 10 years of discourse of how racists suck, and that's not what it means, and it just gets so exhausting. You know, I just played a game that this was one of the central questions. It's called 2064 Read-Only Memories. I actually think you should either play it or watch the VODs, because they make a really upstanding argument for why genetic treatment should be fine. Which I also agreed prior to playing to this game that to a point, genetic modification should be avoided. But also as botanists, we're fucking mad scientists. Like, botanists are asshole cruel to plants. I just want to put this out there, guys. Let me tell you a kind of experiment that botanists do. So, in order to test a wide variety of a species of plant, there's a certain plant we use all the time. It's called Arabidopsis thaliana. It is the most used example species, or, basically species that are used to typify their kind. So, like, we use chimps for primates, etc. It is the most used experimental species of a category of all of them. It's easy to grow. We have its whole genome mapped out. And botanists at heart are uncreative about their subjects. So we will say we want to study a new anti-weed treatment. We will put a set of baby seedlings in a tray, and then we will bombard them with nuclear waves. We will literally cause a mini nuclear bomb in order to cause random mutations. And we'll do that over and over again. I don't know if I agree with you on that, but I also don't disagree with you. I don't know if I could. I haven't thought about that so deeply that I could make a call on that, Reese. Oh, no, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Though if my name were anything like Cornelius, I would say it all the time, I think. I would be like one of those assholes who spoke in third person. That's fair. Well, that's love, isn't it? That's true friendship, that they knew you were talking to them. Actually, Reese, I can confirm with you that a lot of people with these genetic disorders actually choose to not have kids. Hutchinson's. is an example of this. You will almost always die by 35. Almost everyone who figures out they have Hutchinson's choose not to have children. For a very similar reason as to why you feel like you wouldn't want to. Oh, fine. Why is it gotta be like this? Why we gotta be so violent? It's a very cruel world. Victor's playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. And, there's a character whose sister is very, very sickly. And, he has this argument about a just God, because for those of you who don't know Shin Megami Tensei as a company, they are very much about like using extreme 80s goth religion symbolism. It's very much the emo kids game. And though they're very good. I love them. They're one of my favorite companies. They're pretty much the original indie RPG company. They're amazing. However, they do have some pretty silly and heavy-handed metaphors. Somehow ran right by it. Great. And this guy says, if there was a just and loving God, my sister wouldn't suffer. And another character who has been given the pressure of being a saint to save the ending world responds with, well, that's one way to see it, I guess. And she later says, it's just up to us to make it better. I'm not particularly religious, but I feel like that didn't answer his concern. Yeah? That's my feeling. I'm still going the wrong way. How am I this incompetent? I literally just turned to go the exact wrong way again. Okay. Northeast. Yeah, distracted. Exactly. My favorite sort of games are games that do ask questions like that. This game might seem like it doesn't, but it's true. It's true. I really, when a topic interests me, I do lose all focus. I do really like games that ask questions. Like, this game asks a lot of questions about capitalism. Its primary question is like, how much do you like success? How far are you willing to let what a corporation is go? And it has the satisfying parts of building, which eventually we'll get to when I'm no longer dying like a loony. Hawk's Jeans is what you want to... Yeah. All I'm saying, though, botanists, assholes. In my notes for botany, there's actually a little picture of Italiana with this giant baseball bat, like, I'm coming for you. Because I can't imagine a plant species with more hatred for humanity than Italiana. It's just this tiny little weed, too. It's just, like, it's done nothing but be a silly weed. All right, round the... Oh, you, hi. No, we're... Bye? Goodbye! There you go, you're back. See, and I don't know. I kind of feel like that would be pretty cool. But you know that the rich would only keep it for themselves, right? Like, as a thought experiment, if those kinds of improvements were available for everyone, I would be down for it yesterday. But you know that it's not going to be for everyone. It's only going to be for Elon Musk and his friends. Yeah, like all of these really cool advances we have that we poor ass folk never get to enjoy because they deliberately produce them in such a way that they're monetized and only the rich can enjoy them. If there was a way to democratize... Oh, you know what, Reese? It's late over there, so it's not fair for us to get into this talk tonight, because I have a lot to say about that, and I am much more rested than you are. But I have a lot to say, and I disagree very strongly. So in the future, I would definitely like to have that conversation with you. Where the fuck is this death grate? See, so obviously you can tell that I am a nerd. It's actually not genetically beneficial. The wider the gene pool, the more beneficial it is to an organism. If you limit what genes are available to an organism, they have less flexibility when the environment changes. So who's to say that what is strong right now is going to be strong 100 years from now? If you breed out all of those other genes, then they can't have the mutation they need to survive. This is actually how several species went extinct, including the dire wolf. The dire wolf, most wolves have you have to be the strongest mate, right? Physical strength absolutely could and was replaced. So the dire wolf, having bred only the strongest every time. Where are you? I hear you. When it became apparent that big-ass game to support them was no longer around, the woolly mammoth went extinct. They could not eat as much to support their super strong ass body. So smaller, less overall strong, but more agile animals took their niche because they simply couldn't eat enough to survive. Welcome back, Megan. Physical strength requires nutrition. Should the world lose nutrition? No. We've tried. And that doesn't change the fact that if the world were to lose access to food for us, and we try to get all these low-eating creatures, right? So we decide we're going to breed. Right. Exactly. So the main argument here is you can say, we can pick the best of the best. Right, the giants would die off. We can pick the best of the best as much as we want. But what's going to happen is that that's not always going to be the best of the best. It's just not. So eventually, there will be a change in the natural environment around us. And without those recessive genes and without the genes that people viewed as weak, we will no longer survive. There, in fact, is a whole group of people in Africa who survive easier if they have sickle cell anemia than if they don't. their bodies, sickle cell is when your blood red cells change, they change shape. And so it's harder in most people for your blood to circulate, and thus you become anemic because blood isn't reaching your muscles. However, this particular group of people are in a heavy, heavy malaria-ridden area. And it turns out that sickle cell protects against malaria. So this entire group of people have something that in a different nation would kill them. But in their area is what makes them survive. They have sort of like this halfway sickle cell anemia. Ah, balls. Come on, guy. Oh, what do you do? You spit rocks now? I said sickle-shaped. Oblong, yeah. Oblong is much better. Idiot. Oh, what? Why you faking death on me? That's rude. I'm the idiot, but that's rude. Rude game. He coming. There is actually third person. I could turn that on so you could see that, but right now I'm focused on living. Oh, Jesus Christ. Big boy, he coming, he coming, he coming, he murdering, he murdering, he murdering. Okay. He doesn't have much health left, and I'm not getting out of this without taking him out. So I'm just gonna have to do it. Aren't we all just focused on living? Ah, bastard! That is a mushroom made of bacon, by the way. Or at least, they say it tastes like bacon. Jesus! How many times do I have to hit you, motherfucker? When are you gonna die? Did you really die? Are you faking it? Oh, yes! Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hi, PB! But yeah, sickle cell anemia... Yeah! Sickle cell anemia protects against malaria. But in your theory, Reese, we would have bred that out. So, there's a living example of why we should be more willing to have quote-unquote weakness. Yeah. Biological diversity also prevents inbreeding and other such terrible genetic diseases. Then hear me out. We shouldn't live there. I mean, yeah, but no. Because it's not like prior to now people knew that kind of stuff. Those people just lived there. That's it. They just understood that they could live there. And they understood other people didn't survive. And half of Africa could grow food before the British came. Oh man, colonialism is the fucking worst. I should say the Europeans. I hear you, Mercer Sphere, but right now I'm busy. You did. I'm not... Nobody blames the modern Brits. Nobody's running around saying, how dare you, modern Britain. We're gonna have so much fun, Reese. I have a lot to talk about with you. I do actually think that Britain did better with agriculture than America, but the Green Revolution is very interesting. It is a lot of well-meaning people doing very bad things. Up there? Yeah, we can't manage to do shit here. Like, frankly, Britain is trying its fucking best to just, like, be good. Well, no, it's not. Not with your current administration. But the people care. And historically, you've tried your best. America's just like, hey, fuck you. I feel like if Trump could, he would just be like, why don't we have slaves again? Would you die? Why does this have to be this way? Why is everything so difficult? It is oil! Yes, actually. I can develop tech in the future to have oil power. Isn't the Orange Titan always on the verge of saying that? Yes. Yes, that's pretty much all he says. It's true. Why raise the minimum wage? Indentured servitude is fine. If people make $7 an hour and can't pay rent, well, I mean, that's on them, isn't it? They should just not drink coffee. There's plenty of jobs. I just laid off half of the federal government, and so our already fledgling job market, you know, it'll get flooded with people who are overqualified for most of the jobs available, so everyone else can't get a job. It's fine. They'll find jobs. Why don't they take the jobs at McDonald's if they're so serious? Because the jobs at McDonald's are taken, motherfucker. Oh, I'm not going to allow that. Slavery would not have been good. Ever. They were stolen from their homes and packed in ships. More people died getting to the country than in slavery itself. No way. I'm gonna have to set a boundary here, my friend. This is not a topic open for discussion. If it was you, a white guy, so you're talking about you being a slave, a white guy being a slave. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna have to say, you know what? This is just not a topic we discuss here. I appreciate you understanding that, Reese. Yeah. Hi, Kiara. Welcome in. Guys, we're staying off the topic. I have said there's no way it could be good, and I said we're not going to discuss it. Let's make sure, I want my opinion known, that that is what it is, and we're moving on. Nah, you good. You good, sir. We're just moving on. What is the ceiling? It is white and painted. And dead. Me too. I really do like the Rain in the Desert section.
Perhaps additional training is in order.
Did you see that? She left me a little message that said, God, could you stop doing that? There was a quick little flicker on the screen when I was resurrected, and it said, God, could you stop doing that? Oh my. This is the fruit that doggos love. Yeah, I really like the weather. I like the weather effects. This is part of the experimental build. I mean, that's fair. I understand, Reese, that you're like, I really don't want to come off as that sort of person. The previous discussions we've had, I think, does help chat know what your intentions were good and thought experiment-wise. But I do think we should let any discussion of it go. That's it. I'm just... yeah. That is by far... This is by far the most times I've ever died in this game. By far. Yes. And so Vic is black, Reese. I say that only so that if you feel comforted by that information. There you go. That's Nesquik. You were playing Doom 2. Did you die way more than me? A 2-hour break of sheer death and destruction. Sounds about right. I've never played a Doom except the mobile one. Yeah. I run a channel where we can talk about hard things. I'd run a channel where we can talk about hard things, Reese. And the boundaries are there. Yeah, you're not a monster, and I don't think anyone hates you. Please, you're fine. Yeah, they are actually kind of interesting. Hmm. 2016 was your first time playing Doom? 2016... Was that Doom 3? Oh, was it really Doom 2016? Yeah, Reese. The big thing about history is so difficult. Because there's no... It's never especially in America right now, we're doing some disgusting things about history. We're just wiping the slate. That way, you know, our racist overlords can punish everyone of color and have it be said that it was moral. I have never... My first time playing a Doom... Well, actually, no. I vaguely remember playing the original Doom when I was like 13. So I guess that was like 2002. I think it's 2002. They did! They removed the portrait of the first 4-star general today. America's on some ish. You had Doom running on your MP3 player, Goat? Yes, the first black 4-star general, yes. And we fired pretty much every black general we've ever had. Oh, about history being mistaught? So the reason we take... So, Reese, you and I will have a talk on Discord, because I think there's a way to approach the topic you were bringing up with different words that maybe you don't know. So we'll talk about that on Discord. Because I think... I'm starting to think I know what your argument is, and I think you used some very inflammatory language that wasn't what you were... Yeah. So I actually think that's what happened. This has happened with Vic too in the past with some touchy topics. He has used the wrong word because he's dyslexic, and he goes for words that have quicker meaning. So we'll talk on Discord, because I think there's a way that I think I can help you talk around this topic in the future so you don't run into things like that. Doom 95 was remastered for Windows. I think Oddish taught me that. Okay, that's it. I'm tired of dying. That's it. Everyone dies. Everyone dies. Everyone but me dies. Maybe not. Maybe I die. Maybe I die again. I'm so tired of dying. No, you won't get me either, fucking spider. Ah, it's good. It's good. We're all autistic too. It's a loving group. Oh man, I with a fucking publishing degree am fucking up there all the time, and I'm always so embarrassed. I'm like, I have an English degree. And then I'm like, it's there with an apostrophe. Except it's not. Not this, not, nope. Oh my god, dude, I did not know that people hate Pepe. I didn't even know who Pepe was until like 5 years ago. And then I was like, I kind of just don't like him. Like, I just didn't like him. I didn't like the look of him. And then I realized he represents something, and I was like, what? I just thought he looked stupid. Pepe Sylvia? Right. There's a lot of Pepe the Frog or Pepe. There's Pepe the Prawn. Oh, wait, there is. He's from Muppets. Yeah. It's fine. I'll just keep dying. I'll keep getting cool shit and dying, and it'll be you uncultured swine. Yeah, I super didn't know, like, because it's just not where I hang out. I played video games in a vacuum for a very long time. Eh, I didn't have like a huge video game playing community. I had like Victor. So, and I didn't go online to Discords or anything like that. Really, the most I started talking about video games with other people was like 6 months before I started streaming. Basically when the Hades 2 early access came out, because I had a lot to say about it. So I joined Supergiant's Discord to talk about that, and then I started talking, and like I'd been on Reddit occasionally for gaming memes, but just I didn't know the internet anymore. I had spent a lot of time when I was young on the internet. What is brain rot? Buddhist, but yes. A meme? Somebody send me the meme. See? Just like this. I don't know what brain rot is. Like, I know what brain rot is in my definition, which is, you know, staring at a screen until you fall apart. But I don't know what brain rot is in the universal definition of shit. What are you? What are you? Impure iron. Fuck you. I don't need to worry about you. Oh, just... Oh, okay. So just like... fluff. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know that they have like a Skibbity, they license Skibbity for a show? Today on Satisfactory, get the death crates. I really want to make a bunch of coal factories. I'm like here for coal factories. But it's get the death crates. Tumblr nonsense? Okay. Yeah, the last time... Yes, I was about to say, Kira, the last time I was really active in, like, net communities that I could say I was part of brain rot was, like, 2010 to 2012. It's claimed by many cultures, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Reese. What's the Italian brain rot? I have not seen it. Show me the Italian brain rot. Or, like, put it in Discord and I'll see it later. I do appreciate the Millennialese translation. It's like, everywhere I go, there's someone to kill me. Ow! Okay, I would love to sidestep you if you weren't so fucking fast. I love learning Gen Z slang too. When I was subbing middle school, I was so excited when they'd teach me shit. I had to ask them about bass and mid. I asked my 8th graders about bass. Oh my god, he's so fast! He's like lightning! He's like fucking lightning! He's very, very frightening! Galileo, 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 Figaro! Beelzebub does not have anything set aside for me! Ballerina Cappuccina and Chimpanzini by Nanini are toys here. Oh my god, a coffee cup made human. Okay, see you later, PB. So I had an idea what mid was, right? Like, but I wanted to know kind of like etymology and other stuff like that. So I got like, I was like, hey, so they were like, yeah, bass is like dope because it's like it's like the base level everyone should be at. That's how they explained it to me. And then I was like, so mid, they're like, it's like a mid boss. It always sucks. But it's like kind of just nothing. What is aura farming? I want to know this. I want the stuff here. But big boy is mean. Big boy, what the fuck? You were looking the other way. Oh, really? Like a JoJo, like a JoJo hero. Yeah, literally like just Dio. Hell yeah. I love that too. Ah! You followed me all the way here? What is wrong with you, you sociopathic hog? This is the beginner area, for fuck's sake. Get out of here! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just JoJo in. Yeah, like, JoJo, if you... Guys, if you ever want to explain something to me, explain it to me in JoJo, and I will understand it. Oh, that is not at all what it's written like. Vic was like, I just knew you'll understand what I'm saying. Captain, me, aura farming, I'm regulating and trying to understand what people are saying. JoJo, the one who sings Leave, Get Out? No, but I do love that song. No, JoJo, the big muscle boots. The beefy burly motherfuckers. Those of the great buff. Dude, it was not that fun, Kiara. I became a teenager in 2000. It was not that great. You know, though, it was better than now. Like, I didn't have to have a cell phone. Nah, you're fine, Reese. I'll talk to you soon. Say hi to the missus and the cute child. Oh, yeah, Kiara, I wish you could have been a lady teenager in 2000s. Next month. Oh, man. We're gonna get baby photos, guys. That's so funny, Kiara. That's my real name. So for a second I was like, how did you know that? And I was like, oh wait, is that Breaking Bad? Yeah. It took me a second because I never watched Breaking Bad. I just, you know, I don't have a lot of time for like just TV in general because I'd rather do it, play video games or like do something else. So are you dead? You are not dead. Yeah, like if I had a partner who made me watch it, I would have watched it miserably. Yeah. Damn it.
Our blood could fill the effigy veins for a resident song. Scripture becomes harmony, becomes composition. Defile our temple and the threads will sew the windows open.
Pattern analysis continuing. New instruction. Repeat pioneer exposure to alien artifacts. Brain damage compensation packages may be available on successful completion of a special claims form. Our expert Fix-It medical staff are impartial and always open to assess your claim.
Yeah, that's like when the car insurance company assessed whether I still needed Oh, yeah. Yes. So I agree, Megan. And I really like non-likable people, but I just couldn't get behind. You know, though, here's the thing. Characters don't have to be likable for media to be good, but you do have to root for them. I think for me, I couldn't root for them. Yeah. Honestly, Tev, I was trans-masc in high school because I swore up and down that I was a man, and I'm so grateful for having had that experience, even though I was not I didn't go through any biological transition, because it really helped me in a lot of ways to think about my body. Yeah, Kiara, I think that's what it is, right? Like, I would argue that The Wire, there's not a ton of likable people in that either. But I'm able to root for them. But I wasn't able to root for anyone in Breaking Bad. And I wasn't able to root for anyone in The Sopranos either. You're not alone on that. That's I think the base requirement for any media is, you know, I think some people can stand outside a story and just watch it and just like watching a story, which I can do for some stories. Like it's Only Murders in the Building or I forget exactly the name. I was able to stand outside that, even though I would say I didn't particularly care for anyone in it, and watch it as a story. So is Vic, Kiara, for Christmas, because we're, turbo broke, like literally have a GoFundMe to pay our basic bills. We couldn't have Netflix anymore, so for Christmas I got together with a bunch of Vic's friends and got him a huge box set of Supernatural. Which are much harder to find than you'd think. So, like, things don't respawn right away, so at this point, almost all things that I've killed that have killed me are gone. Huh. Tev, that makes sense. So they say that like in a Western, the environment is a character, right? And I personally really like Western settings and can enjoy a story in a Western setting or a modern Western. Okay, you're not a big boy, you're a little boy. dare you change your path? Oh, shit. Oddly, though, Victor will watch Supernatural. Oh, are you kidding? From downtown? From downtown. Victor will watch it on end. I have still only seen like the same 4 episodes. Like every time I enter the living room and he's watching Supernatural, it is the same 4 episodes. It's the one that has like a haunting from inside the painting. It's like a girl from the family painting. The one in the comic shop. And then there's the one after What's-His-Face gets out of hell. And he's very traumatized. There's the one where they save their friend who's been kidnapped. And she's blonde and she was kidnapped by Satan or something. And then there's the one where Lilith shows up and they meet her in a really weird hotel room. like giving them a bunch of Friends show titles. The one where I did watch the season 4 premiere, indeed. The one where this is okay, you are dead. But it's always those episodes. I have yet to catch any other episode. Oh, no, wait. I did catch one that I really enjoyed because it had like this old farm hand that they went to go visit. I did watch the Bloody Mary episode. They went to go visit this old farm hand who used to be their friend. And he was so lonely, and the way they wrote him was really cool. They canceled Doctor Who? Fucking finally! Man, don't worry about it. It'll be picked up again in 10 years and it'll be dope. That's what happened last time. Yeah, like, basically they couldn't get rid of What's-His-Fuck, the worst showrunner in the universe, and so they had to cancel it. Fuck. Fuck! Why? Why? Oh, I did it! I lived. Yeah. I'm so glad because we can finally have a good show again. Like, Doctor Who hasn't been good since the 11th Doctor. Which is so shitty because some of Peter Capaldi's episodes were dope. And they do all of the doctors that I ever wanted to see, like a lady doctor. Ooh, hot. Simple sweaty. Tell me more. Yeah, basically, Chris Eccleston leaves. Everyone he didn't want to work with got fired. Ah, skeet, 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 skeet. That's how you know you're really old. 12 was a good... I agree, Captain. I agree. His storylines and writing were really, really bad. Thank you. They really fucked it up for him. It was a disappointment. David Tennant, my one true love. You know what? You're not the first straight man I've heard say that. Besides that, we know that, you know, very few people are purely straight. It's a thing. We know that. Yes, I have upgraded my shiny sword. It has not helped me live more. In fact, well, really what's been happening is chat's been popping and I've been having a great time, so I'm not paying attention and I'm dying all the time. That's what's been happening. Yeah, chat's a menace today. I love David Tennant as an actor and as a person. I, for some reason, did not enjoy his run as the Doctor as much. Is trying to overflow the map with death. I am. I'm testing the experimental build. That's what I'm doing. So far, so good. Did I ever watch Blackpool? No. Wait, yes! Yes, I did! I did! Really enjoyed it. Oh, I loved what they did with the angels in 11. I actually think my favorite angel episode is the one with 11 in the hotel. Despite Super Hulock, that's fair. Is it above us or is it right through there? Because there is poison and I have been eating some poison pretty hard. Nope, there it is. Okay. Ah! Probably gonna die, probably gonna die, probably gonna die. No, no. Okay, but it's outside of the poison now. Yay! He was very hot in that show. He was unfortunately very hot in the Jessica Jones show as well. It was very sad. It was difficult for me. What a fucking asshole. Those of you who don't know comics, I think Jessica Jones did a really good job with Purple Man, but they never actually explained Purple Man. Yes, that's what I was saying, Kiara. Doctor Who will come back. Tennant was the Purple Man, yeah. He was so good. He was so good. And I was so glad he took that role because he really does look like what Bendis imagined Purple Man looking. And Jessica Jones is based off the Alias run that Bendis did. I was so glad he took it too because it really... Oh my god, I couldn't either. Wait, what? To Buzz from Home Alone... Wait, what? What? How do you compare the Purple Man to Buzz? Actually, I do think that's probably why it got canceled, is because when you start with Purple Man, you can't go anywhere else with Jessica Jones. Oh, interesting. I don't think I would ever make that comparison, but that's very interesting. Like, what they really needed to start with was her and Luke, but they decided to put a lot of that into Luke's show, which it was all just a bad decision. Because a lot of what makes Purple Man tolerable in the comic is her relationship with Luke. It's so hard to watch, period. No, they didn't want to commit to the Defenders too hard, and that was their mistake. Oh, you're right. I swear to God, these hogs. It's like, you cannot go anywhere without a hog coming to fuck you up. Right. If you have Jess and Luke, you definitely need Danny. Which they did do. They did do Iron Fist, but they didn't want to tie him into the rest. I mean, I see that. By the way, Kiara, I see Buzz being more subtle, but Purple Man is such an example of... Maybe it's because what Purple Man does is so severe that it's hard for me to compare it to the trauma that Buzz causes, but Buzz does cause similar trauma. It's hard not to fuck up Iron Fist, to be fair, Megan. He's so close to being an Orientalist jack-off grossness that it's really hard not to fix it. Not to do it. Like, another attempt at off-brand Batman that just turns into racism. With Matt Fraction, it did not, but that, you know, you can't guarantee that Matt Fraction's going to write every single episode, or they're going to use his run. Yeah, exactly. He's one guy. Yes, good. Yes, good. Good. Oh, Lord. Isn't it funny that once they leaned into having their female characters be more present in their Marvel shows, suddenly they're, like, lasting forever? It was so funny, because, like, the moment they did WandaVision, suddenly they were like, oh, we figured it out. Except for She-Hulk, I know. The world wasn't ready for She-Hulk. Like now, with the whole like gigantism, step on me, mommy sort of culture, She-Hulk would go over really, really well. Kill all screenwriters, indeed. You know, a lot of what happened with She-Hulk was just her looks. Size and Ally McBeal. I know! I know! Ally McBeal is by far the best example because she is just a classic femme with agency and tongue-in-cheek humor. But because she had any amount of, like, femininity to her, she got undermined and canceled. Yeah, Deadpool is an absolute equivalent, and his shit's wildly successful. But I do think that Deadpool is also a different... I will say this. Deadpool is a different character. Deadpool is wild, and it's a very different universe. I think She-Hulk was fine. Though I do agree, Captain, I don't think it ruined any continuity because it was explicitly outside of continuity. Kind of like a what-if comic. But I agree that there was a lot of missed opportunity. Deadpool has a very specific universe that is more than just the character. What surprised me was how universally popular Deadpool was. When I was working in a comic shop, I once sold an Amazing Fantasy 15 for $33,000 to a man from Mexico. That's how, like, rare... I was working in Washington. That's how rare the comics were in my comic shop. So I was surrounded by every comic all the time. And when I worked there... the people who loved Deadpool were like juggalos and, you know, ICP fans and black metal fans and people who maybe were like always just a little over the top, kind of Invader Zimmy personalities. Like, people didn't buy Deadpool who weren't like that because the comic had really poor marketing, and also for a time was just written in a way that didn't appeal to people who didn't like more extreme stories. So for it to become so popular mainstream was really surprising to me. Yes, I think the biggest disservice they have ever done to She-Hulk is the Hulk. I agree. Like, when She-Hulk was part of Fantastic Four, it was amazing because Hulk was not there. I agree. I do agree. I really feel like there will be another attempt at She-Hulk, especially with how popular the new Fantastic Four movie was. And I think they'll attempt her when she is part of Fantastic Four, and I think we will very much enjoy it. So, there is a period of time when the Thing is not with the Fantastic Four. And it is for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is he's Jewish and actually very religious and finds what they're doing immoral at the time. But also he has a relationship with someone off-world, and a lot of other complicated things. Has the Thing in his own series for a while, and She-Hulk is the... Captain Marvel also replaces him for a time. I think that they will actually choose to enter that kind of plot line. Calling it now. And I was able to call all of the Avengers movies, I would like to add, years in advance. But I feel like they will choose to reintroduce the character in that context. One, her interaction with Human Torch is fucking adorable. Two, it's actually that my car is named Shulky. She's big and green and strong. And that is the Human Torch's nickname for She-Hulk. Yeah, Megan fucking Captain Marvel is her shit. Specifically Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. I don't think it was Carol Danvers who was part of Fantastic Four. I can't remember who it was, but she was transformed into a thing-like monster. And she was... When She-Hulk had to go off and do other shit, she then took the place of She-Hulk. Who comes before? Is it always Carol Danvers? Who was Miss Marvel? Carol Danvers too? Okay. Then it was Carol Danvers when she was Miss Marvel. The Miss Marvel series was underselling drastically. Fantastic Four was so popular in the 70s and 80s that they used it to launch characters. So Miss Marvel was underselling, so they kept her individual run going at a slower pace and then threw her into Fantastic Four as a way to sell her books. Which I find just incredible. because of how not popular Fantastic Four is now. Monica Rambeau got shafted. Yes, I do know that. I do know that. Well, actually, no. Yes. I thought it was, no, I thought it was Green Lantern. Was it Carol? I thought it was Green Lantern's girlfriend. Or was it that... See, I thought... Hi, Miv! Hi, everybody! I thought, it was that Green Lantern's girlfriend was chopped up into a fridge. Ooh. Hi, Miv! How was the Solderic Ep? How was stream? Esoteric? Esoteric. Whatever. I know how to speak. Hi, Raiders! For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hildy. It's short for Brunhilde, who is the Ice Queen in stories like Volsunga Saga and the Nibelungenlied. Siegfried, the warrior, also known as Sifrid, who is the template for Aragorn, meets her in Iceland, bones her, and she loses all of her power. She then stabs him in the shoulder, which is his Achilles heel-like spot, and says, "Fuck you too." Resonates with me. Yes, it was Kyle Rayner's girlfriend in a fridge. That's what okay. Yeah, they chopped her up and put her in a fridge. Oh, thanks for the follow, Kiara. We are an LGBTQIA plus safe zone. We are militantly anti-racist here. We talk about serious shit and we set serious boundaries, but also, I die a lot in Satisfactory. Did I? Okay, my inventory's full. I have to go back, but I successfully did not die getting death crates this time. Satisfactory is not going anywhere. I've been dying getting my death crates for hours. But been having a great conversation with chat, so it's been very enjoyable. So that same comic shop I worked at, where I could sell like Amazing Fantasy 15, right? We also had a lot of really big signings whenever comic people were in town. So the guy who drew that issue is a very famous cover artist. His last name is almost impossible to pronounce. And he had so much to say. Green Lantern is actually in DC where a lot of the civil rights pushes happened. And a lot of the more writers quit Green Lantern because of Green Lantern than any other comic in DC's history. A lot of times, it was because people were literally like the editors would be like, "You're doing this or you're getting out." They actually, to Oh, God. They said, why can I not remember his name? Victor, Green Lantern after Kyle Rayner. I mean, to be gauche about it, the black one. John Stewart. There it is. That's what I was looking for. They told them that that name was too black. And that's why they couldn't have. He started later because his name was too black. And it would be read as racist. Yeah. So, the Kyle Rayner in, they literally said, yeah, it's Stanislavski, I think is his name. It's so hard to pronounce. There's lots of consonants in this guy's name. He literally said, yeah, it's my friend's name, who is black. They had to throw a connipshit because too black. That is DC's legacy. I am going to get myself killed. I need to go the right way. Yeah. So and for Raiders coming in, I was a former professional color book colorist. And during that time, I worked in a shop that specialized in collectible comics and comics history. So I spent a lot of time talking with lots of people. I am really excited. I hope that Rocky does not explode. So we got on the topic of comic books somehow. We were talking about Jessica Jones and the Purple Man, right? Doctor Who got canceled, and we were like, it's just going to come back after a hiatus. We brought up David Tennant. We got to the Purple Man. We were talking about how horrific the Purple Man was and how good he was at that. I know. Nobody knows. That's the thing. That was the question I asked him, was like, did anybody explain why that was a problem? And he said, they said it would come off as racist because it was too stereotypical. That was what they said. And he literally had to like show a picture of his friend Jon Stewart to be like, this is a black guy. That's his name. That's why we picked it. But also, excitingly, someone out there knows that they are the namesake. Someone out there knew, at least. I don't know if they're still alive, but they knew that they were the namesake of Green Lantern. Isn't that cool? That's pretty cool. But there were a lot of events there, like Kelly Sue DeConnick and Matt Fraction did their signing for the first graphic novel of sex criminals there. So 2010 to 2016 is like a vaguely weird special interest. They didn't ask a black person other than because that's just not what racist comics ever did. They never asked the people. But at least the writers and artists were like, we know people. This is the thing. Sex Criminal Show was shelved because of this stupid everything in media is pedophilia stuff. For those of you who don't know, Sex Criminals is a great indie comic where when these two people fuck and get off, they stop time. So what do they do with this power? They decide to rob banks. Brilliant. Definitely for adults. Automod's like on a thing right now. Automod is like having a problem. It's just not okay. Oh my god, I know. Time stop is so cool. Like, I know. I have gotten like something like she has a nice butt got filtered once here. Oh yeah, Megan, I'm not surprised about the Hays Code stuff. I would not be surprised at all. I agree, Tev. Time stop can get really funny. Like, JoJo's definitely... I do have a nice butt. Thank you. JoJo's definitely fucks up time stop for a little bit. I'm not going to talk too much because I know Captain hasn't gotten here yet, even though like this series is so old. This is mycelia. This is wood. Automod has really lost their goddamn mind. That's what it is. Sort. Okay. Yes. Automod got mad at me. Oh, because of drugs. Yeah. Yes. I think that there's very, very few writers and series that actually think through time stop. JoJo's does get close, actually. In Golden Wind, they get a little better. But they still don't get that where. Yeah. Okay, what do I need? Yeah, I need to make alien protein and I need some mycelia. Okay. What's in here? I gotta get out on the road soon, otherwise things will start respawning. I can't believe it's 2 streams of getting my death crates. I am incompetent as a factory builder. Ada is right. I suck. Would a gun work in space? No. They've tested it in a vacuum in labs. It doesn't work in a vacuum. So I assume you're talking about space in the most stereotypical way, which is the vacuum of space. If you're talking about space as like being a part of a gas giant or something like that, well, that doesn't stop the vacuum, but I was going to say there are some caveats where it would work. Because not all of space is a perfect vacuum. But in general, it would be a vacuum. It would not work in a vacuum. What am I doing? I need to go to the weapons bench. Other than that, I'm actually not your lead person for discussion of... Oh, that's right. In one of those death crates is my fucking chainsaw. All right, off we go. Surface of the moon, it would work. Not the way you want it to, but it would work. It would work very badly. It would work very, 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 very badly. Like... You were aiming one way and it would just fly off. In a vacuum, there's nothing to light on fire. There's nothing to make the explosion. There's no gas to do that with. On the moon, it would work. Yeah, it depends. Like I said, it depends on whether you're in a vacuum or not. Of course it's in there. Nope. Somewhere in here. There it is. That's how many times I've died. Is there are just boxes with only leaves in them. That's disheartening. So I want a caveat to say that this is a hypothesis. I said it very, very sternly, but it's only because I know they've tested it in a vacuum in a lab. Saying in a vacuum in a lab will work exactly the same way in space, I can't guarantee. And I don't know enough about space to say that confidently. Space is kind of Victor's jam. He's on a not video game playing break right now, so when he comes back, we can ask him a bit more about it too. Like, in a different... I mean, the velocity is really what's in question here, is whether it'll actually cause any damage. Oh yeah, also, if you're enjoying this conversation, you should drop a follow because, you know, the more people that show up, the more cool conversations we have. Just saying. Yes, there's air underwater. And the guns were also designed to be underwater. But there's oxygen underwater. So hydrogen bonding is really an intense sort of thing. It's really flexible. Water is very, very questionable in this regard. Yeah, you can explode water. You just break the hydrogen bonds off of oxygen and then use that gas. Yeah. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Captain. However, it's not easy. You know, hydrogen is a really, really needy atom, and it like clings to oxygen really intensely because there's no shielding, there's no nucleus shielding in hydrogen. So the nucleus is just like right there being magnetic towards towards electrons. But all right, so we are going to go southwest and then up the mountain. It might be, Tev. I mean, it very well might be. Like I said, I don't know a ton about space. I know a lot about water. In space, I think of... I don't know. Because I don't know... Is it vacuum space? Is there gas there? Like, I don't know. I hesitate to say, like, just ramming a spaceship into something floating by. Yeah? Is this where we're supposed to be going? Is this our plan? Void, like space? In the void? Just ramming your spaceship into it? Light-based weapons? Light is energy, so it can use it for its own propulsions. What do you think, Tev? Tev has a very strong opinion about this. Yeah, that's the question for me. I don't think something... All I can think of is when you're not in space, it pushes you backwards. I am not sure if something can explode in a vacuum. So Vic says, most propulsion weapons, I think space is so vast and the chances of running anything you don't want to is slim. Vic, can a gun go off in space? Can things explode in space? Vic. Oh, I need to turn around here and go up that way. Yeah, like Vic literally subscribed to Discovery just to watch astrophysics videos. It is his special interest, that and fishies. And Pokemon. Okay. Really? I can't go up that way? Oh, I have to go through here. Makes sense. Oh, right. Supernovas exist, so... Okay. I didn't think about that. Oh god! Oh god! Mama spider! I forgot! That's why I didn't want to come back up here! I forgot! Oh, Jesus! No! Where's the death crate? I just need to get the death crate! Ah! No. Yes. Okay. No. No, God. Run! There's a summer sloop in there. I want it, but this is Mama Spy. Okay. Yes! Yes! Good. Oh, good. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yes! Yes! Oh my god, it's still behind me. It's still behind me. It is still following me. Oh gosh.
Pioneer? Pioneer? Pioneer.
It did the thing again. Hold on. Hold on. It did the thing again. I'm watching back the YouTube stream. Because it just did the thing again. It sounds like she's high. Ada, you shouldn't get high on the job. Well, I'm very interested in this because I've never had this happen. I have died a lot in this game in the past. I have 900 hours in this game, believe it or not. I just usually play with passive animals. I don't usually fight them. But I just got... This is the first time that's ever happened. And when I died, there was a screen. It's the one I saw last time. So I'm watching the YouTube stream back on 0.25. Let's go. Come on! This is what you get for watching something really slow. I let myself lie there a lot for a while. There we go. Yeah, no. There was definitely something. There was something that popped up. Hold on. There it is. Ah, yes. I shall do. But first, guys, There's this. Interesting, no? Really? She's not talking again? Every time I update Firebot, I swear to God. Ugh.
It seems someone is worried about your posture, ma'am.
Did you hear her? Okay, thank you. Okay then. So there is something interesting now because that respawn.bat, I'm gonna go through stream and clip it afterwards, but the first time I noticed that screen, it said, "Oh my God, will you stop doing that?" And this, like, glitchy Ada is not something I've ever heard. They did say that with the 1.1 and 1.2, they updated the story because people were pissed. Trust me, I was one of them. At how unsatisfactorily it ended. It was very unsatisfying. I actually was, like, livid. I was mad at this game for a year. Rocky failed? No! No! I'm over it! I'm actually really glad that I fell off because Mama Spider is not going to be waiting down here for me. She does return to her spawn point. Also, I'm collecting a lot of alien protein, which is very useful. It, creates a ton of biomass. So for bio power, it's really, really good. Okay. Yeah, they finally all respawned. They were like, "We've given you enough times. It's your fault you keep dying." Okay. So we want to go around this way. Death glare. He says death glare. Somewhere. There it is. Meow. Ha! Okay. The amount of death crates has returned to when I first started the death crate mission. Oh, God. Okay. D&D Bard, vicious mockery, indeed. +4. Critical hit. Victor's always humming, I swear to God. Whatever stat increases when a bard hums, Victor would be at past 20 by now. Which is stupid. It's stupid hard to do. So roll a 20 to begin with, unless you get to level like 15, and then put all of your stat adjustments that can be added without, so some of them have restrictions like if it would push a stat over 18 or whatever, you can't use it. You have to time your stat adjustments just right so that you can get over 20. Right. So this is a cave. I can take that across like that, so... Vaguely southwest. Irritating and sometimes useful. Sometimes. Don't get ahead of yourself here. It's okay. I mean, Oddish will just wipe the floor with me because he can actually battle. I never thought I would be worse at a video game than Oddish. I'm definitely a better builder if I can ever get to it, but I am worse at this game overall than fucking Oddish. That's gross. There's nobody here who would care about that, except me. Am I gonna get nailed? No, I already cleared this out. Learned to play viola in elementary school. Parents refused to get me an instrument in middle school. Dipped out. Against my will. But same. Same. I've continued to dabble in instruments, but I never really had any instructions, so I think one of the things is if you're not a virtuoso, if nobody's ever really worked with you, you can't get any better. Did Big Boy respawn? Please tell me Big Boy didn't respawn. I will be so upset. Okay, it looks like Big Boy did not respawn. That is good. Where the fuck are you coming from? Come here. I don't want to be near them. I'll trigger them, and they'll hurt. Come here! Megan! You were a virtuoso! I did web coding in high school, actually. I taught myself CSS while I was in high school. Trust me, it hurts to this day that I can't get a job on it. How do I get up to you? Can I get up to you? Can I stand on this? I can. I think I need a jetpack for you. That sucks. One note. Yep. When we all learned CSS to make our RPG, I did it to make like fan websites where I could line up all the images using tables. Back when nobody cared about any accessibility whatsoever. There is a death crate over here. I'm gonna go get that one instead. That one feels accessible. Okay, yes. It is. It's like right here. Where is right here? Like here? Aha! Okay. There's another mug? That's how long this crate's been here? There's another mug? Oh, you learned how to code for mobile. It's just like, it's like 2 CSS commands. Yeah, you can code for mobile. Sorry. Ah, fuck. Hi. Okay, getting out of here. Goodbye. Sorry. Sorry. Why is it always like this? That's true. It does take practice. You've got to really continually do it. Apparently I can hit people with my mug. Oh, I just had lost my mug, my first mug, period. Oh, well, I'm glad I went back and got it. I had all sorts of plans. I was gonna get sulfur, gonna make explosives, I was gonna get super coal. You can make like a compressed coal with sulfur and coal. And here I am. 3 hours later! I shouldn't complain. I have enjoyed myself thoroughly this stream. I am not going to complain. I'm just going to die. It is starting to get hot, and those of you who were with me last summer remember that there is a point where no matter what happens, it is unsafe for me to stream in my house. Thank you, Captain! I can't wait to mourn with you. So as it heats up, streams will not be able to go past, because of the way the Pacific Northwest works, they won't be able to go past 5 or 6. Starting at 7 should be okay, because it's like only a 2-hour period where it really, really, like my computer could fucking break if it got too hot. So those of you who stop by for day streams, just be aware. We have a standing AC downstairs, but it is pretty far away from my computer. We might move my streaming setup closer to it in maybe August, but that would be a temporary move. You know, assuming we're not homeless from poverty by then. Let's not talk about it. Carrots are delicious. Craving carrots is nothing to sneeze at. Also, it might mean that your eyes are tired. I don't know if we'd ever need beta-carotene that much to actually crave a carrot, truth be told. Beta-carotene does help your vision, but not so in much that it might cause a craving. But maybe. We're going to make it back home and be safe, and then we're probably going to call it because it is rapidly getting hotter in this house. We may not have gotten a lot done, but we sure did have fun. That's what matters. There are no streams on Monday. And then on Tuesday, Shibuya Scramble at noon. It's my streamiversary, so anything will happen. Well, it's my affiliate-versary. I don't know, same day. Up that way? Yeah, missed it. I would love some ice. As long as it's not asshole racist and really ice. Like I said, we'll be okay. We do have some standing ACs. We're not gonna overheat and die. It's just my computer, you know, runs at a stupid hot amount. So sitting right next to it in this weather is no good. We don't have like a really easy spot because our window is horizontal behind my computer, so we can't actually put our standing AC over here. Okay. Let's see if there's someone to raid. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm in an ad break. When we come back. Oh, did I never shut off Big Boy. So, weird inception there for a second. Yeah. Actually, we're gonna raid Matt King. Matt King, I don't know much about him. I know that he is a really loyal follower of Simple Streams and seems like a nice guy. So we're gonna go raid that motherfucker. He is playing some Overwatch. And then doing D&D. So, when we get there, it'll be a braid, B-R-A-I-D, and off we pop.